No tent. Oh, torture.
Your parents did this to you?
No, they didn't do it to me.
Did he say yes when I said your parents did this? Oh, okay.
No, he did, but it was a reflex action.
Yeah. I'm just so glad they didn't.
Wow.
It's an unbelievable documentary. Welcome back to The Unrestricted, folks. I hope you had a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Yeah.
And we are tangential for a minute, but we will bring it back to, like, Black Monday turned into a weird week for the NFL coaching carousel.
Wacky Wednesday.
Wacky
question.
Wednesday.
No question. And we're brought to you by River City Refuels. It's a vending machine for your business. It's tailored to you and your employees' tastes and likes. They put the machine right in there, and then you get to enjoy it. It's totally cashless. They stock it. You don't have to do anything other than enjoy it. It's great for an office building, an apartment complex, small business, even a large business. Call them up today, 630-5973. Local company here in San Antonio, 210-630-5973, River City Refuels. So I was about to say, I'm wearing a mobile ESPN sweatshirt.
I see that. A hoodie in honor of Bill Belichick, I guess.
Absolutely not. Screw that guy. So I was about to ask you, I said, did you get one of these? I don't remember if you were there at the time when we all got mobile ESPN phones.
I remember that, but I don't think I got one.
You didn't get one?
I don't think so. And I don't know why I didn't, but I remember this era. Why?
I'm trying to think of who else got a phone. So ESPN at one point came into San Antonio and gave us mobile phones to try out. And it was, this was before internet was on your phone. So you would they had the ability to give you the scores of all the games and stuff like that, and the box scores of the games on your phone.
Cool. Which
is like, oh my God, this is unbelievable. You think about it now and how elementary it is. But so they also gave us sweatshirts, mobile ESPN. So I pulled it out of the closet and been wearing it lately.
Well, thanks for taking us down memory lane.
Well, there you go.
I appreciate it. Now, I realized why you're such a bitter Belichick, Let's not drink coffee
right up against the mic.
It rubbed against the mic.
Have you ever seen anything like the coaching vacancies that have happened over the last 24 to 48 hours?
Nobody has.
This is insane.
It is insane.
It's insane. If there was just one coach as good as Mike Vrabel going to the market, it would be an insane market. But, I mean, from Pete Carroll to Ron Rivera, it's just on and on and on. And then you get the two maybe greatest at their head coaching positions.
Two goats are out there.
Yeah.
Yep, the goat, yeah.
Saban and Belichick both out. Saban 7 titles, Belichick 6. 13 between them, that's amazing.
And to me, just in case you're wondering, Nick Saban, to me, what he has accomplished is much more impressive than Bill Belichick. Because because the cast of characters changes constantly in Nick Saban's world, where they don't necessarily under Bill Belichick. And listen, if Tom Brady was the quarterback at Alabama for the last 12 years, they'd have 12 titles.
I agree with you, but I actually agree with you for a different reason. It's not so much the cast of characters changing.
Because you love me? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the landscape of college football and how it's changed over the years. How NIL, transfer portal, how it's become a different sport. College football today is different. Markedly different than it was when Saban started coaching.
28,
no question.
28 years ago, he started coaching, 17 at Alabama. And yes, it has changed a lot. And I don't think we should discount how much the NIL probably plays into his saying, okay, fine,
maybe.
I'm out of here.
He said it. The college game has changed.
It has.
He said it. And that's one of the reasons I read in one of the articles that he's pointed to as this is the time for me to leave.
For coaches, whether it's college basketball or college football, for them to have to kind of re-recruit their own players on a season-to-season basis, that is a pain in the ass. And it's not a job for the old, and it's not a job for somebody who grew up coaching for, 28 years as a head coach, but before that, it was like 15 as an assistant or whatever it was.
I hate it.
I know you do, and many do, and there's good reason to hate it.
Yeah, I hate it.
But if you're a dinosaur in a brand new world, the NIL world, and I don't blame Saban at all for saying, you know what, I'm going out essentially on top.
Yeah, because now the coaches were. And listen, we used to rag on the coaches because they would leave programs high and dry, but that didn't necessarily, to me, ruin the game of college football. I think with the players, whether it's the transfer portal or the NIL, I think this has a legitimate chance of damaging. I don't think you're never going to ruin college football because it's more popular now than it's ever been. But damaging the sport is no question it has, and it's only going to get worse until somebody grabs it and shakes it out and puts rules and does all that stuff and actually heads it up for a change, and we'll see if that all happens.
College football is the most ever evolving of all the major sports to me. And yeah, they have. Look, they're going from 4 to 12 teams for the playoffs. They're going to have to make some decisions on their leadership and conference leadership coming up soon. I mean, I don't know. We could have a completely different college football landscape in like 5 to 10 years. So the Alabama coaching job is, to me, way bigger shoes to fill than Belichick at New England. Would you agree with that? I don't think the Patriots head coaching job carries with it the gravitas that, say, even the Dallas Cowboys head coach. I mean, that's the premier one. And maybe even the Packers head coach is more premier than Patriots head coach.
Maybe, but it's not by much. I mean, you still have, how many teams? 32?
32.
Yeah.
32 jobs in the NFL. To have one is prestigious no matter how you look at it.
It is prestigious, but Alabama is one of one. Alabama's one of one.
Yeah, but it hasn't always been that way. I mean, think about Dennis Franchione was a coach at Alabama.
Not always. You're absolutely right. But for 17 years under Nick Saban, it has been.
Well, I think
I said 17 years. I meant 23.
That brings to the point that Saban has established that school as the premier job. It wasn't always that way. And it hadn't been that way for a long time until he got there.
You're right, but it still has the legend of Bear Bryant hanging over it. And,
sure.
It's just, I mean, look
at USC.
Right.
I'd love to say Texas is on level with Alabama. I would love to say that it's not, right?
No.
Like it doesn't carry the same prestige. The biggest shoes to fill are the Alabama coaching job. And, looking around the college landscape, there's guys whose names have been mentioned. Coach Lanning at Oregon, DeBear at Washington, the Duke head coach who's Mike Norvell. Is that right?
Yep. Yes.
There's guys who have been mentioned in connection with it already. But like, holy shit, can you imagine having to go from one of those schools, particularly Norvell?
Yeah, you don't want to be that guy.
I mean, you're living in the shadow, man.
Yeah, no question.
I mean, at least Belichick has ended his tenure at New England under a little bit of a...
Yeah, it's easy to take over for him.
He's gone downhill, right?
Yeah.
And it's a rebuild from the ground up at New England. At Alabama, you still are going to have Nick Saban's recruits and the shadow of Nick Saban. Apparently, Nick Saban this morning showed up at Alabama facilities, like not just to clear his locker or nothing, but to help out with recruiting. I mean, the guy's going to be around.
But it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the commits. It looks like already one commit has uncommitted from Alabama based on Saban retiring. So we're going to see what that looks like for the recruiting class.
If your kid was going to Alabama, would you pull your kid out of there?
No.
I might. I would have to see who they're going to hire.
I would have to see who they're going to hire.
Yeah. And that's never going to match your expectations. So I'd leave it open.
Okay.
I'd look at it. But the good news for everybody around here is now the Aggies have a chance.
And the Longhorns have a
Texas
chance.
has a chance.
That's right. The Longhorns are in the SEC too. All right, never mind about the Aggies. They don't have a chance.
Oh, God, that's rude.
And somebody told me, and I wrote that on social media this morning. It says, how about that? You and the rest of the media making a joke about the Aggies. Well, that's what the Aggies are. They are a big freaking joke. They're the butt of all jokes.
We know that.
Hello.
We were born and raised here.
Welcome to America.
Hey, I got a stat for you that I think you guys will like.
Okay.
Since Belichick took over 23 years ago in New England, the other 31 teams have had 162 head coaches. That's insane.
Yeah,
Well, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are the one exception to all of those.
Well, no, I
things,
mean,
right?
and that's including some of the franchises that have had long tenured coaches.
Stability,
The
right.
Ravens, the Steelers, quite frankly, the Seahawks.
The
even
Jets.
though they're moving on from Pete Carroll.
I can't believe that, by the way. Did Pete Carroll have a bad coaching season?
I think Pete Carroll is good. They're going to move him upstairs
into
somewhere.
management.
Yeah.
I get it. It's
Don't
not
forget, these guys
complete
are all
fire.
in their mid-70s.
I know.
And the first thing that popped into my mind is when I got up and I said, "Oh my God, Bill Belichick!" Finally, that comes out. The one thing that brings it back to you is, if you're Greg Popovich reading these headlines in the last 48 hours, are you not thinking about your own retirement? He has to be.
I imagine it crosses his mind, but I think each instance is singular, right? Like, he doesn't think, well, if Saban's retiring, then I should too.
Yeah, but I
There's no
think
way.
he
He probably doesn't even know Nick Saban or Nick Saban's,
you'd be
lifestyle.
surprised.
I don't know. I remember talking to Pop with you years ago and asking him about some collegiate head coach, a major collegiate head coach, like Mark Few or something like that. And he was like, yeah, I've never met him.
Yeah, but they all know each other. They're all in that fraternity. And if Mark Few or Nick Saban called the Spurs and say, "Hey, we want to come out and check out practice," they would come down and allow them to be there. But that's what I thought of this morning. I say, my God, Pop's 75 years old, and certainly there are plenty of Spurs fans. I don't know if it's the majority, but there are plenty of them that would like him to retire today as well.
Not me.
And frankly, I'm tired. I'm so tired of hearing the Spurs fans cry about this team. And you would think they were the New York Jet fans, for Christ's sake. Stop your whining, will you? You won all these championships under the head coach, and now all of a sudden you get this great rookie who is fantastic. There's no question about that.
We won last night.
He had a triple-double.
My gosh, when are we going to end? When are we going to win? Oh, my God, shut the hell up.
It doesn't happen overnight, you guys.
Jesus.
Be patient.
Shut up.
But back to Popovich retiring. The one thing that's interesting, I heard this, this compare and contrast Popovich to Belichick. Popovich has interest outside of basketball. The dude's an amateur sommelier.
Yes.
Belichick, not so much.
I don't know about Bill Belichick's.
I've heard some stories about him being interested in some other things, like some of the stuff that his grandkids are doing, but no real interest outside of football. He's a football lifer. He's going to coach somewhere else.
I would think
question.
too, and I guess that parlays the conversation
He wants to break the record. That's what he wants to do.
How big is the cloud of Belichick looming over the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry World?
Did you hear what Jerry said?
What did Jerry say?
We are evaluating game by game.
Well, yes. Okay. Yes, I remember that.
But he also said McCarthy's in no. But listen, Jerry Jones has lied to us a million times. We all know if the and by the way, we are all over the place this morning. If the Cowboys get defeated in round one, he's gone. Everybody's gone.
I don't know, man. I'm not sure I buy into that.
Would you fire him?
I'm not saying would I. I'm just wondering, would the Joneses? And that's a different answer.
I would fire him.
Well, it's not up to us. Unfortunately, you
yes,
don't know
it
the
is.
Cowboys.
I make the rules of the Cowboys.
I don't know. I don't have a great answer for you there. But for sure, the cloud of Belichick is hanging over Jerry World against the Packers this weekend. Like it is. I mean, there's no way McCarthy doesn't feel the pressure. There's no way.
Even if he lets McCarthy go, Belichick is not coming to Dallas.
I don't know. I mean, I look around at the other opportunities, and
I wouldn't think he would either. But who thought Bill Parcells would coach under Jerry Jones?
Absolutely
not
true.
For very long.
True. No, but that's the most direct corollary.
Yeah, sure. And that all had to do with Terrell Owens, and that's why Parcells left, because of T.O. But you never know.
You know who wins?
Can't close the door.
You know who the big winners are over the last 24 hours of coaching carousel, like musical chairs.
Coaching agents?
Yeah, for sure. But
the owner of this podcast?
And yeah, because we got an easy topic today. But Jim Harbaugh, major winner, pick of the litter. Mike Vrabel, pick of the litter. These guys really are going to have their choice of really good opportunities.
No question.
And you could even put Bill Belichick, even though he's lost his job, so to speak, or left his job, you could put him among the winners.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
He gets to choose. And among these teams, okay, so you have now 8 positions that are vacant.
Okay.
Falcons, Commanders, Titans, Seahawks, Chargers, Panthers, Raiders, Patriots. Obviously, if you're Belichick, you're not going back to the Patriots.
He's going to Atlanta.
But Atlanta.
Yeah. That's where I see it.
I want to come back to that.
I think that's the favorite at this point. The odds makers have made Atlanta the favorite.
I want to come back to that. But you also have 3 head coaching situations that, as they head into the first round of the playoffs, have head coaches on, some hot coals.
Okay.
You got McCarthy in Dallas.
Okay.
You got McDermott in Philly, and you got Sirianni in
Philly, and McDermott in Buffalo.
Did I say Buffalo? Did I misspeak?
You said Philly.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Got ahead of myself there. Yes, those 3 coaching jobs.
I don't see the one in Buffalo. I see a little bit in Philly. But I mean, how could you? I don't see any of those other than McCarthy being in the hot seat. The other 2, Buffalo and Philly, I don't see that.
I don't know. Philly's had a very disappointing season, and
but they're in the playoffs.
And if you're that's the fucking Cowboys could say the same thing. You're in the playoffs. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, all 3 teams are.
As to the Eagles, 4 weeks ago, I think I said here and to my friends and everyone I know, yeah, Philly's going to win the division because they have cupcakes for the last 3 games.
I thought so too.
And they went 1-2.
Unbelievable collapse.
It's an incredible collapse. I'm not picking them against the Buccaneers, so
it's hard to.
I don't think you move on from Sirianni. I think you just look at this as an aberration to figure out what the hell happened.
I'm only saying these are coaching possibilities for Belichick. Okay. And look, if Belichick is out there, that changes the calculus around Buffalo and how they view Sean McDermott, right? Like it's not just, is Sean McDermott a good coach? Is Sean McDermott as good as Bill Belichick, right? That's completely different. So you have 8 vacancies and 3 very interesting playoff teams to monitor that are not rebuilds, they're reloads, right? Why the Falcons? Why is that so interesting? Why? And I read
because you got a lot of good offensive weapons there. You're obviously missing a quarterback, but for Belichick, it's not about winning a Super Bowl at this point. It's about getting to the record and having that in his pocket. And then after that happens, he'll retire.
So you're thinking crappy division?
Division is certainly up for grabs, so you can win games that way. And again, listen, if you sign Bill Belichick to be the coach of your team, this isn't a long-term answer. This is a 3-4 season thing. I mean, he's 75, however old he is. He's not going to be coaching until he's 80.
He's not doing a rebuild. If he were going to be doing a rebuild, he would stay in New England.
Sure.
And he and Robert Kraft would have figured that out. And Robert Kraft obviously said, Bill, you're not the guy for a rebuild. You don't have that much time left, not going to be here forever. Let's get somebody young for the rebuild to start afresh,
I would not hire him, but that's just me.
So not hire him for who?
For my team.
Anybody.
Yeah, I would.
Really?
Yeah, because that's not a long-term answer. Unless I'm close to, if I was the Cowboys and McCarthy doesn't get me over the finish line, I would look at that.
I thought you just said you wouldn't.
If I'm the Jets, my team, if I'm the Jets where the Jets are right now, I don't know if I would.
Oh, I think you're wrong.
But if I were the Jets and Belichick hate each other, so that's never going to happen.
But Robert Saleh has proven that he sucks.
He is
not a good head coach.
I'm with you there.
And that he hasn't been fired is not a complete shock to me because he's got the nod from Aaron Rodgers.
Yes, that's why he's there. So is the GM. Those 3 guys are all tied together. But
and you're right. The Jets and the Pats, they hate each other. It would be a hard transition. But if I were Aaron Rodgers, I would absolutely say, well, if we can get Belichick for 3 years,
maybe
that's totally worth it.
I'm wrong.
You're
absolutely right.
We have the players in place.
Odds on Belichick's next coaching location. Not Atlanta. Los Angeles Chargers plus 200. Falcons plus 5. Commanders plus 600.
Okay.
Not the head coach of an NFL team plus 700. And then Panthers, Titans, Giants, Saints. Weird. Jets plus 3,500.
Huh.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a $10 bet on him coaching the Jets just because I think it would be fucking hilarious.
That would be hilarious. Yeah, absolutely. Now, the Chargers are interesting because obviously you have Herbert in place as a really good quarterback, but you have to play in Los Angeles basically without fans. It's such a weird situation there. I don't know how attractive that is to a head coach.
I'm with you. I would not.
I'm not so sure. If I were Belichick, I would probably lean towards not taking any of these open jobs, and I would be monitoring whether Dallas, Buffalo, and Philly fire their head coaches. I would want to go into a ready-made situation.
I don't know if I would spend the time waiting. Again, there's 32 of these jobs. There's only so many of them. If there's something there that I like, I'll take it as quickly as I can. Because, I mean, he's... Again, it's not like this. It's not a situation where Belichick can afford to take the year off.
Why not?
Because he's 7. How old is he? How old is Bill?
72.
72?
Okay.
Yeah. That's one more year you can't coach.
He could pull an Urban Meyer and just pretend like he's, going to the booth for a year and then reboot and refresh. I got to take care of my family and then go right back to coaching. You think Urban Meyer takes a position?
No.
I mean, no.
I wouldn't hire him.
You think Alabama will be interested in him?
I don't know. College he'll go back to. He will never be an NFL coach.
No, I don't think so either. But, I mean, if you're Alabama, do you go down that road? Like with the scandalous stuff? I mean, we know he can coach. We know he can build a champion. I mean,
I don't know who's available. I don't know. I'm sure there's an Alabama guy that's available that could coach the team. I would imagine they might go that way.
Okay. I mean, the three guys from UW, from Oregon, and from Duke, they don't have national championship resumes, right? Like, at least with Urban Meyer, he's been there, done that.
Oh, he's one of the greatest coaches out there, so.
I don't know.
I just wouldn't. I wouldn't NFL.
Hate him.
All right, speaking of NFL, let's go through these quick because we're probably close to being done.
We really are. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of running out of time.
I started the clock late.
All right, NFL playoffs. First of all, my first note on this is the Peacock game on Saturday night is absolute greed grab by the NFL, as we all know, and it's absolute disgraceful. The fact that Miami, Kansas City is on Peacock on Saturday night just is mind-boggling to me.
Just go to a bar.
God, it's so stupid.
I agree. I think it sucks.
I don't want to go to a bar. And the fact that DirecTV here locally is still without CBS is also mind-boggling to me. I can't believe that's going on this long. Crazy.
I'm looking because you just made me think. The CBS games for this weekend that I won't be able to get because I have DirecTV. Steelers Bills on Sunday.
Yeah, you got to get rid of DirecTV.
And it looks like that's the only one.
Let me throw this out at you. Cowboys' biggest obstacle in winning a title. The 49ers, McCarthy, Dak, or the AFC champion?
The 49ers.
McCarthy. I mean, even in the games that they're winning, look at McCarthy's coaching decisions and his clock management.
Terrible. Awful.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
He is going to cost them.
He didn't take the starters out last week fast enough for me.
Yeah, I'm
mean, that was squirrely. I was texting you guys. Time to pull the starters.
I would put McCarthy. You got 2 home games. They certainly have put themselves in position to get to the Super Bowl. There's no question about that. 49ers, hard to see the Cowboys going into San Francisco and beating them. But you know what? You win 2 home games convincingly, as the Cowboys probably should be able to do. They'll be pretty competent going to San Francisco. But still, that's going to be difficult for them to do.
Wally, this is what you said and asked for the Cowboys. You said, look, you got to get home field or else you're fucked. And they got it because Philly collapsed and Dallas kept winning. So here they are. They're in the catbird seat. I guess it could be a little better. They could have home field throughout, but they get what they wanted. I guess Green Bay's hot, but are you terrified of Green Bay?
No.
I'm not either. I think a lot of people are making too much of a worry, I guess because Jordan Love is, thrown the second most touchdown passes in the NFL this season. They're making it out like Jordan Love is some sort of, John Elway in the making, and I don't see it that way. Getting Aaron Jones back has definitely helped the Packers. No, I have the Cowboys winning this game easily.
Yeah, it should be. Listen, when all is said and done, it should be the 49ers and Cowboys in the NFC Championship game, and I would expect to see Buffalo and Baltimore, right? Buffalo is on that side. Yeah, it should be Buffalo and Baltimore in the AFC Championship game.
I would think so, too.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Browns.
No.
Really?
No way. I think the Browns are losing first week.
I think the Texans could beat them.
I think the Texans are going to beat them. Look, Texans are at home. I like their chances. Yes.
The only thing I don't like about Houston,
defense travels, and rookie quarterbacks in playoffs don't do well.
C.J. Stroud's different. That dude is different.
He can win the game, but they can't stop the run.
He is a quarterback and he is a rookie, so you are right. But I think he's built different. And the only thing that worries me for the Texans, honestly, is that they've had so many injuries to their playmakers.
Yeah.
And, 4 weeks ago, I think they could have put up 35 points in this football game. I don't know if they can still do that. The Browns defense is really good.
Texans are underdogs at home.
Yep.
2.5.
Disrespected. And
interesting to see.
All they got to do is get to Joe Flacco, and the game changes, right?
Yeah. That's the one question with Cleveland is, and listen, for me, Joe Flacco's doing this with mirrors. I'm shocked he's gotten this far. I can see. I expect Houston to win this game. I would put my money on Houston.
I consider that game one of the most interesting of Super Wildcard Weekend, which, by the way, I cannot wait for.
I'm with you.
I'm just totally excited to watch.
My wife and the kids are away for the entire weekend.
You are a lucky man.
I can't wait.
Good for you.
Yeah, and as to your CBS problem, here's my solution.
Sure.
Sign up for YouTube TV for the free trial just for the weekend.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Sense. That helps me. The marquee game, I think it's Dolphins-Chiefs. And unfortunately, it's the Peacock game.
Yeah.
It's the best game, right? That's the best game of the weekend, isn't it?
Let's see. You got Cleveland, Houston, Miami, Kansas City on Saturday. Then you got the Rams in Detroit. I have no interest in.
Lions. That's
Green Bay, Dallas.
The Rams-Lions game is the game with the most subplots and stories.
Because Stafford going back to Detroit and Goff going back.
Yes, and I think it's a good game. I think it's going to be a good game, even though I think the Lions will win it going away.
Interesting. I look. I know it has subplots, but it goes low on my list of interests.
I'm with you. That would be the least likable game for me.
Oh no! Bills Steelers is the least likable to me.
I like watching the Bills quarterback.
The worst 10-win team in NFL.
The Steelers,
history.
They're unbelievable. How good is Mike Tomlin, by the way?
Terrific.
I mean, good night. He's the best football coach there is.
I wouldn't disagree with that.
Yes.
I think I'm
the
with
best
you on
coach
that.
in the NFL.
All right, we didn't hit the college football game, the title game. Give you my thoughts on this quick. I thought Penix would play better in this game. He did not.
If he had played that way against Texas,
they would have lost by 30.
Yes.
But Texas could not have done to Penix what Michigan did to Penix. They put him on his back foot. They made him uncomfortable the whole entire game. All his mistakes were based on that. That defensive line owned Washington.
But it was also creative blitz schemes, right? Texas did not bring it. They did not bring extra guys. They basically said our front four are going to get upfield and get
the arrogance of Texas.
That was arrogant. That was arrogant. And honestly, it was the blitzing stuff from Michigan that I think put Penix on his back foot.
I have a personal question. I have an "Am I the asshole?" I have a friend.
You are.
Yeah, I have a friend who was boasting out his ass about Washington beating Michigan, and I challenged him. I said, "You want to bet?"
Are you talking about me?
No, I'm not talking about you. Is the person that boasts about a team and then bets on him allowed to ask for points after they boasted about their team?
No, of course
No,
not. No.
man.
There we
you're-
go.
You're talking about winning outright.
There
when
we
you're
go.
talking about
Okay,
that.
fair enough. Let's move on.
Bob Sprend is wrong.
Yeah.
There you go.
Um,
I would not. By the way, I said I would draft Penix. I would not. I changed my mind on that. His delivery is too slow, and there's so many injuries. I think he'll be on the board for a while come draft time.
I don't think he's going to stay on the board for long. I disagree with you there.
Okay,
But
we'll
there
see.
was a lot of body language stuff that came out of that game, and I've seen this a little bit from him earlier in the season, where when things aren't going well, his body language kind of changes. I mean, you saw him, kind of, grabbing at his injuries, and
Yeah, he got beat up in that game.
he did a little bit, but it was like, we need you to be tough. We need you to be the leader. And it didn't strike me as a guy who was trying to lead his team back. It looked like a guy who was kind of relegated to losing that game. His stock dropped.
No question.
I'll say that.
No question. All right, I got a couple of little news and notes here. Charles Barkley on The Late Show. I was watching this. I watch all the late shows. I love them for whatever reason.
I can't believe it.
So Barkley was on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert with Gail King. They got the show going on called King Charles.
Yep.
He said that the other night that he drinks between 15 and 20 Diet Cokes a day.
Holy shit.
Is that crazy? And how is his TNT buddies allowed him to go on this way? Why wouldn't they stop Charles from doing 15 to 20 Diet Cokes a day? He's 60 years old.
That's going to kill him.
Eventually, yes.
I mean,
I went to the doctor, and if you did not know this, I am diabetic now. I said to my doctor, I said, how many of those packets of Equal could I have or should I have? He says, you shouldn't have more than 4 of them a day. So and I use 2 in a cup of coffee.
wow, that's a lot.
That's a lot in a Diet Coke. Oh, my God, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy.
That's
so
scary.
that made me think of, what vices do you have? I used to have...
You used to have a lot.
And this got me into trouble. This is why I had a heart attack in last March. I'd be sitting in front of the television watching a sporting event, having beer and eating the little mini Hershey chocolate bars. I'd go through a dozen of them.
Wow.
And a beer. I was probably drinking maybe 5 alcoholic drinks on any given night.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you add it up in a week, you're at 35 drinks.
Yeah.
That's a shitload of alcohol.
It's not a small number.
So but I've gotten rid of all of those vices now. Well, you're a smoker.
Still a smoker, but that's sort of the last of my major vices. I mean,
Okay,
I drink,
Bob?
but not badly.
Anything?
Probably too much Diet Coke myself.
Diet
Yeah.
Coke? How many Diet Cokes do you drink
Not
a day?
15 to 20 a day.
No,
I bet.
probably maybe 6 to 8.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah,
you're gonna die soon.
That's a crazy, crazy amount. For
Sorry,
Barkley.
Bob. I'm kidding.
I got a news and note. By any chance, did y'all catch UTSA basketball last night? They had a chance. Yeah. Okay.
Are you kidding?
Well, I did.
All
They
right.
were on ESPN Plus, and I saw at halftime that they were beating the 13th ranked team in the country in Memphis.
Really?
At halftime,
Okay.
and I tuned
Where was the
in.
game?
I think it was at Memphis.
Okay.
I was watching on my phone, so I wasn't paying exactly great attention.
Gotcha. Okay.
And UTSA played great. It went to overtime, and they
Wow.
lost. But they damn near took down Memphis, the 13th ranked team in the country.
Okay.
Good for UTSA.
Okay.
Saw 2
There's
very, very cool films this week that I want to mention.
Okay.
One is called Hell Camp, and it's the true story, the documentary about these wilderness therapies that people used to send their mischievous teens to, like in the 80s, like when your kid was...
Parents sent you one, didn't they?
Yeah, but like, people would come in and kidnap the fucking kid in the middle of the night.
Wow.
And like drag them out to the Utah desert for a 500-mile hike over 64 days with like very little resources, sleeping on the ground. No
Really?
tents. Oh, torture.
Your parents did this to you?
No, they didn't do it to me.
Did he say yes when I said your parents did this? Oh, okay.
No,
All right,
they-
go ahead.
He did, but it was a reflex action.
Yeah. I'm just so glad they didn't.
Wow.
It's an unbelievable documentary. I I can't believe that this happened, that we allowed this fucking shit to happen.
It's
in the
unbelievable.
United States.
It's unbelievable. I can't believe it.
Also
you,
that.
Jason Bateman.
It's seriously good. And then the other one that is a freaky show, absolutely freaky movie that came out, I think about 2 weeks ago, is Saltburn.
Okay.
Have you read about it?
I've heard that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I don't want to give
It was
anything.
nominated for a couple of Golden Globes.
I don't want to give anything away, but
Okay.
it is.
Saltburn.
Talking about Golden Globes, did you see the Instagram post of Paul Giamatti?
Oh,
No.
where he's at, like In-N-Out Burger.
He's eating at the In-N-Out Burger next to his Golden Globe.
I think
In
that's
his tux.
awesome.
I like him.
Yeah, how can you not?
I like him. All right, I got a couple more for you. The whole Aaron Rodgers, Jimmy Kimmel thing. Aaron Rodgers never, and if you go back and listen, you'll figure it out. Aaron Rodgers never said that Kimmel was on the list. Never said that.
Epstein list.
He said that Kimmel wouldn't like the names on the list. So I think, and being, Kimmel is the late night show host, like the rest of them that are pretty much lean to the left. And so, guys like Clinton, President Clinton, maybe have been on the list, which the list hasn't even come out. So that was what it was. That's what Rodgers was saying. And I thought, I thought that Kimmel went a little bit too far, but listen, he was trying to be funny, and that was the whole thing. And so when Aaron Rodgers went on Pat McAfee's show this week, you knew after listening to that was the last of Aaron Rodgers on the McAfee show, because he said the F word at least once on there, and went scorched earth on the other ESPN executive, and obviously that's how it turned out. Aaron Rodgers is done with Pat McAfee.
I have a rule in life. Don't insult a comedian.
Yeah.
They have writers.
That's smart. That's smart. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
They're funnier than you are.
Yes, they are.
Here's my two political ones for the day. If Greg Abbott wants to continue to share his migrants with everyone, I think he should have to discount his oil.
Okay.
Just a thought.
Okay.
And here's the other one. This is the scariest thing that I've seen in a long time. To me, are you not a hunter, Jeff?
I am.
You are a hunter. All right, I'm going to get your thoughts on this. So a company called Anderson Roofing and Repairs in San Antonio has a new end-of-the-year special. Every new roof install comes with a new AR-15. Your thoughts?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's like, wow.
I
know it's their right. I know they could do whatever the hell they want to do, but you have to have some common sense, folks. I mean, this is the weapon of choice for mass murderers. We all know it. It's the truth. Go look it up. If you don't know that, then you just got your head up your ass.
That is a bad idea. I mean, it's probably going to work for them, man.
Yeah, it's going to work. It'll work here. It'll work in Texas. You can't do that you can't do that in other states, obviously, but
God bless. That is such a bad idea.
It's disturbing on so many levels.
A gun giveaway. I mean,
what are you looking for? I mean, if you're looking for media coverage because of this, you're not going to have. This is not going to happen in little old San Antonio. Nobody's going to care.
Yeah, we're talking about it.
Well, it'll probably end up getting national attention.
It might.
It won't.
It could wind up national. I mean, that's such a weird thing. That could go viral. It really could. That is so bizarre.
I post it on social media. Nobody cares.
Yeah, well, all it would take is a mass shooting, time very close to that announcement, and then okay.
That's bananas.
I don't think anybody cares.
That's bananas.
It is bananas. Randy Moss admitted that he used to carry $20,000 on him during his career. Cash.
What a terrible idea. I mean, that's worse than the Anderson Roofing idea. You're just asking for it at that point.
20 grand. And I thought, I was like, where the hell do you put $20,000 on you? But I would think those kind of guys back in the day, they all had some sort of man purse with them.
Sure. Yeah.
But 20 grand.
Maybe with his handler. I mean,
that's a lot of freaking money. That's a lot of $100 bills.
Yeah, it's not a small.
Yeah, I was actually watching NFL Countdown when he said that, and it was like, how much money did you used to carry? It's like 20. It's like bucks. 1,000.
Yeah, because when you put, and I've been fortunate enough to have a nice stack of hundreds, and when you put them together, you could easily put a very small, very thin stack for 5,000. So, all right, 20 grand isn't a big piece of, it's not a big thing.
Piece of real estate or anything.
Yeah, it's small.
Yeah,
you could fit that in your little man purse.
God, that's crazy.
Like a little toiletry bag.
That's stupid. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sure there was 20 grand in a handgun.
The Spurs in the last week have been super interesting. It's not the winning, although they did get a win.
Some signs.
It's been beautiful. There's been some beauty out there, and Wemby continues to impress.
Mm-hmm.
Sohan has gotten a little better. He's distributing the ball and moving away from the point guard spot has helped him to become a better contributor. Still want to see more from him. I'm not sold. Vassell has had great games.
He's the best player on the team outside of Wemby.
I don't think we've had a chance to talk about this, but the Giannis versus Wemby game was one of the most entertaining Spurs games I can remember.
I gave away those tickets.
Oh, no!
I gave away those tickets to somebody on a customer on my food truck.
Just an incredible game. I can't remember a Spurs game really ever that went just back and forth with highlight reel great plays from two unicorns, super freak athletes. And it was almost like they were trying to one-up each other with who could make the greater play. And there were 5 things in that game that I would say I've never seen before. It was so cool.
I thought it was there was an interesting post this week about Wemby became had the 6th most blocks at whatever age or whatever. I go, who gives a rat's ass? Really?
Oh,
this was some big highlight that he's the 6th player now with the most blocks in 100 games, whatever it was. I go, what does that mean?
I love NBA stats. He's the 6th most high-scoring player under the age of 20 who was born in France but had a parent from Africa.
Yes.
How the hell do you code that in the database?
There is a stat for everything. Yeah.
Why was that promoted? I don't understand. That doesn't make him look good at all. If that was gonna be a record, I would have thought he would have been number 1 in the blocks, not number 6.
What else you got? We got to get out of here.
That's it. That's all I got, man.
All right, Bob, you got anything for me?
I'm good.
All right.
I got something for you. River City Refuels. It's a vending machine for your business. It's tailored to you and your employees, your taste, your likes. It could have anything in there, from Parliament lights to, I don't know. I don't know, the chew. You can have chew in there.
What is it that Nick Saban likes? Like oatmeal whipped cream, oatmeal marshmallow cookies. He's got
oatmeal marshmallow cookies.
Yeah, he's got some fetish for one of those weird candies.
All right, here's what I'd like to have in there. I'd like to have Diet Cokes in there. This is what I'm eating right now. Oatmeal, and some sort of fresh fruit. That's what I'd like to see my vending machine have. But it's all cashless. It's a vending machine for your business. You can have it in your office building, your apartment complex. All you got to do is call them at 210-630-5973, 210-630-5973 for River City Refuels.
Thanks, guys. Great show.
Like and subscribe.
Very good.
Bye.
How y'all feel out there? Do you feel good? I said, do you feel good? Come on. The groove feel good when it make you move. Make your next move your best move. I said the groove feel good when it make you move. Make your next move your best move. It feel good, don't it? It feel good. It feel good cause you know it's good. Hey, it feel good, don't it? It feel good. It feel good cause you know it's good.
All right, let's rehearse and get rid of the mucus. What's green and goes 100 miles an hour backwards? That. Listen, 5th grade humor is.
I am so glad I didn't have my headphones on.
5th grade humor is underappreciated. It's nothing like 4 guys getting together and talk stupid crap.
Agreed.
That's hilarious stuff.
Or 3 guys getting together and talking stupid
three
crap.
Yeah.
He is Irish, so.
He is Irish.
He is that.
Not quite sure what that has to do with wakes or.
Well,
The Irish do a lot of wakes.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
an
do
Irish,
they?
It's an Irish thing.
I didn't know that. No, it's not an Irish thing. Is
There's
that
a
they go to
fucking
wake?
song, Finnegan's Wake.
Who knows that song?
Irish
Finnegan's
people.
Wake?
Tim
sang
Finnegan.
Oh yeah,
Still
sure.
don't know
Yeah.
it. What the hell is that? I don't know what that is.
Stop mocking me. I'm going to pull it up and play it.
Okay. Oh, I know that one. I remember that one.
Oh, Bob must be Irish.
Speaking of
Partly, yeah.
music,
Yeah.
Kenny Loggins turned 76 this week. Oh,
And no one cares but you.
I do care. I think about what will happen when he passes. Would I go to the funeral memorial?
Are
that
you
kind of stuff?
serious?
Yes.
What a weird thought.
Why?
Does he know you?
No, of course he doesn't
Well,
know
then
me.
why the fuck would you go?
Because I'm a fan. Have you not seen, when celebrities die and they have memorials and people go to them.
Yeah, weird people.
like, yeah.
I love that man. I love his music. He's been a big part of my life.
Okay.
In my
You mean
opinion.
you'd like be outside, right? The funeral, right? Like you'd be outside. You wouldn't be like indoors in the church, right?
Well, like if it's raining, do I get a chance to go inside?
No, I don't think so. But you're gonna just stand outside like you're on,
If they sold tickets, would you buy tickets to go see it?
Good Morning America.
That's a great question. I don't know.
It might be his
I don't
last
know.
chance to earn.
That brings up an interesting question. I thought about this in my sleep last night. So you have all the money in the world. You have no cares financially. What's the one thing you would do?
2 girls at the same time.
No way.
Office Space.
God, I was thinking the same thing. Only 3. I got to beat out Buff. And one thing I was thinking was, you know what? I'd go to Italy for lunch and go have some nice pizza.
Oh, all right.
Hmm.
I was wondering what your answer was going to be.
That was just one of them that floated through my head.
Okay. I don't have an answer.
Then I can go deeper and go, well, I'd go get myself a badge and go to the Masters in the spring.
Smart.
That would make sense.
Hit all the big majors.
Yeah.
In all
No.
the sports.
I'd only want to go to the Masters.
He's saying in other sports.
Oh.
No,
Do like Super Bowl.
Well,
Pro
did you
Bowl.
cover the Super Bowl?
I've
Did you ever
been
go to the Super Bowl with this radio station?
Never
No.
with the radio station,
Because
but
we
I've
only went
been,
once.
But I've been to 2 Super Bowls.
Have you?
Yeah.
I'm wearing a... by the way, did you want to start the program? We could start the program.
Oh, sure.